Hello and welcome to Macworld, where each week we give you the lowdown on the latest piece of kit from the world of technology and gadgets. But this week we've flown all the way to San Francisco to find out what Apple have to launch at the Macworld Expo 2009. Stay tuned. So what did we get to see from Apple? Well, it was quite an underwhelming event, with Steve Jobs, not president, Phil Schiller, although taking the lead role, not being very charismatic, and although he didn't do a very bad job, i.e. he didn't make any fluffs or gaffes, well, the information that he had to give just wasn't that interesting. So what did they announce? Well, most of the presentation was taken up with iLife 09. That's new additions to the iPhoto, that's the photo album software, as well as iWork, which is all about spreadsheets, presentations and pages, Word document stuff. Not exactly mind-blowing, exciting stuff. The rest of the keynote was taken up with the launch of the 17-inch MacBook Pro, which, to be honest, fits in with the design of the 15 inches we saw last year. Nothing too exciting, although they have managed to eke out another 3 hours of battery life, meaning that if you opt for the 17-inch model, which is pretty big and £2,000 expensive, then you'll get 8 hours. Not great, but it's better than nothing, I suppose. At the end, the one more thing wasn't an iPhone Nano, wasn't a MacBook Mini, wasn't, well, pretty much whatever the rumor mill had expecting. It was, in fact, that the iTunes store is going DRM. 8 million tracks from today, with a further 2 million by April 1st. Now, clearly an attempt to try and please the 4 big studios. Apple have had to make some omissions, the main one being that the iTunes tracks are no longer just 79p, they will in fact be tiered. Now, we don't have the pricing for the UK as yet, but in the US it's going to be 69 cents, 99 cents, and $1.29, which, to be fair, is probably going to mean that back catalogue stuff gets more expensive, just as it does in the high street. But also it does mean that the probably chance of, if Britney Spears really wants to get to #1, you can expect that's going to be at the 69-cent offering, an attempt to try and boost those sales a bit more. Overall, as we said, it was a bit disappointing, not from what they launched, what they have launched, we've played with, well, it seems to work okay, but just that it wasn't everything that the rumor mill had hyped up to be, probably to be expected, but also that it was Apple just playing it safe in these credit crunch times. Well, if you were disappointed by the fact that there was no netbook or web tablet at the Apple Macworld 2009 Expo, don't panic. There was a company called Axitron which was keen to help out those looking for such a thing. Basically, what they've done is they've taken a MacBook Pro, taken away the keyboard, the bottom half in fact, turned it into a tablet, added a touch screen, and, well, that's it. It's pretty exciting. It's going to cost you a lot of money, however, $2,249, although they will ship to the UK, I've been told. In use, basically you use a pen to control it. You can draw on it. Pretty much touch screen. You can't use your finger, unfortunately. However, what we did like is that the harder you push down with a pen, it's pretty much like one of those whack-on web tablets, is that the brushes get thicker or heavier, so it really is as easy as drawing. To type in text as an on-screen keyboard, although unless you're doing some odd twittering or maybe the light bit of instant messaging, we wouldn't recommend it for writing that thesis, and that's the Axitron Modbook. With not much on show here, that's it for Macworld Expo. We're now off to CES to see the carnage of gadget launches. Hope you've enjoyed it. We'll catch you in Vegas.